Welcome.
Great to be here.
This is going to be a big game, isn't it? How much pressure are we expecting from this England side?
A huge amount of pressure, Rusty. The last time these two teams played against each other, England actually walked away with a 3-0 whitewash. Now, that's the first time that's happened to Australia since I captained them, actually, but let's not talk about that. This England team is full of talent. There's 6 players who are signed to play ANZ Championships next year. They've got a number of MVPs from the ANZ Championships this year amongst their ranks. Australia will look at this game and have had it penciled in as a must-win match. If they don't win today, they face the very real prospect of looking at New Zealand in the semi-final in the crossover section of this tournament. Today's game is absolutely vital.
We don't want that, Sherelle, do we?
No, we prefer not that, although we did see New Zealand in a very close match against Malawi yesterday, just got over the line. All
right, let's, why don't we identify some of the key Aussie players that our viewers should be watching out for. And the first one we'll start with, a little bit of breaking news on this one.
That's right, Maddie Robinson for the Australian team. Perhaps some expecting that she might start in the wing attack position, but it is Kim Green who gets the nod there with Kim RAVAILLION in the centre. Now, here we see a bit of Maddie Robinson's play. She's fast, she's speedy, but so is Kim Green. So she'll do a great job in wing attack as well. And Kim RAVAILLION, her 21st birthday today, which is really nice, so she gets the nod at centre. So the beauty of the Australian team is the depth and the variation and the changes they can make.
Let's go to the top then. Laura Geitz, great leader.
Absolutely. And when you look at her, she leads by example on court. And most importantly for Australia in this match, she's a ball winner. Incredibly rugged. And if you look at that Australian defensive line with Geitz and CHATFIELD, they are 2 tough customers. They will push and shove and try and make some space in there and put those England shooters off their space. That's important because England have a superstar in their shooting ranks. But for Laura Geitz tonight, her job will be really to get under the England goal shooter Joe Harton's skin. And if anyone can do that, it's Laura Geitz. She's in career best form and playing brilliantly.
Righto. What about some targets from the English team that we're going to be focusing on?
Well, one of the main ones that we're looking at is Jiva Mentor. Now, as a goalkeeper, I'll talk about goalkeepers all day, Rusty. And Jiva, I think, is the best goalkeeper in the world. She just shades Laura Geitz at the moment. Funnily enough, she won the Sherelle McMahon medal for the Vixens this year in the ANZ Championship, so she was named MVP for them. Incredibly influential in the ANZ Champ, so she's used to the Australian style of play. And unfortunately for Australia, she's got a pretty good track record against both of our goal shooters, BASSETT and THWAITES. So Jiva Mentor today is a huge threat for the Aussies.
And the other one we're looking up at the other end is Joe Harton, who you mentioned, be coming up against Laura Geitz. Now, Joe Harton won the joint MVP for the ANZ Championship this season, so in amazing form, likes a long shot. Here's one here, incredibly good at holding space, but likes to get on the move a bit as well, and's got great ball handling skills, which is slightly unusual sometimes for a big, tall holding shooter. So it'll be a great contest with her and our captain.
Now, a busy little, good that you bring up the captain, a busy little cattle farm 2 hours west of Brisbane is the centre of Diamonds captain Laura Geitz's world. It's where she grew to love netball as a little girl and where she almost gave up the sport last year after losing her biggest supporter and her inspiration, her dad. She invited our Danny Isdale to spend a day with her family on their property.
She's travelled all over the world. But for Laura Geitz, there's no place like home.
Go on. Walk up. Probably my fondest memories are just having pet animals and every pet dog, pet horse that you could imagine, and it was just such a wonderful lifestyle, you know. Good boy.
This visit, she's just in time to see nephew Harry turning his stumble into a stride. He's been busy finding his feet on the family farm just outside the tiny Queensland town of Allara, just as his Auntie Laura did when she was little.
Growing up in Allara is, you know, if someone would have told me half of the things that I would have got to do, I would have never believed them. And I was an extremely shy country girl.
And there is Laura Geitz getting over the shot beautifully.
She can't be shy on the netball court. Growing up, with every big win and every trophy, her confidence grew. By 2013, Laura was at the top of her game nationally and internationally. All thanks, she says, to her supportive family.
This is a traditional Geitz meal. You know, I remember Mum picking me up at school of a Friday afternoon and us making our way down to Brisbane for training each weekend, and that's just something that you do at the time, but it's not until you reflect back on all those trips up and down the Cuttingham Highway that you realise just how much that they sacrificed for you to achieve.
They keep her grounded, and the farm, she tells us, keeps her calm.
This is where I feel most at home, back here, and come on, lammies.
It's the only place she wanted to be when her world suddenly stopped last May.
Tragedy struck our family when we lost Dad on the farm here in an accident.
Her beloved father, Ross, was injured on the property and died in hospital. Laura dropped everything and decided to quit netball for good.
I said to Mum, you know, I need to come home and spend some time, and she was very quick to tell me that I wouldn't be giving up the game and that Dad would, you know, obviously want me to continue to play.
He believed in his daughter and what she could achieve.
We were at home one day in the kitchen and Ross said to me, you know, Laura's going to captain Australia one day. And I said, phew, that's a huge call.
It's a really nice thing when you are the captain at your first major tournament.
My philosophy towards the Australian netball team is to treat the girls how you'd like to be treated and to keep it a really fair and humble environment. And I think that's when it's kept like that and it's genuine, people really perform at their best.
Once she's achieved all of her goals,
a Commonwealth Games gold medal is the one box that's unticked on my bucket list.
Laura Geitz will, as always, make her way home, where she's proud of her past and looking forward to her future.
To hear little footsteps running around up here would just be my perfect dream, that's for sure.
Great yarn and a great leader. We're looking forward to seeing the Diamonds on court. That'll happen very shortly. Ladies, have a great call.
Pleasure. Thank
Two
you.
former captains arguing over the two former captains arguing over the microphone. That'll always be good. We'll grab a break. Lots more to come your way as day 3 continues. Preliminary pool round match so far at these comm games. At the Exhibition and Conference Centre is where we find Ros Kelly.
Well, both teams have just hit the court to begin their warm-ups. Australian coach Lisa Alexander, your final few words to your troops in the dressing rooms. This is a huge game.
It is a huge game, but it's also one game in a very big test for us. There's, you know, altogether 7 games, so we just need to take care of business in this one.
Walking around the precinct over the past 24 hours, speaking to a lot of Aussie fans, they are very excited for this match because they're expecting a lot of fire between Australia and England.
Oh, definitely. It's going to be a cracker of a game, and I think netball fans around the world will really enjoy this game. And look, we're hoping it'll turn out well for us, and we're really hoping that we've got the support back home.
You made your girls do some homework in the lead up to the Commonwealth Games. The other day, England were tweeting that they were spying on your match.
Oh, well, that's just part of what everybody does. Everyone does analysis. It's part of what high-performance sport's all about. So we hope we've got a few little secret edges, so bring it on.
Any injuries or niggles or anything we need to know about?
No, we have 12 fit, healthy athletes, and we're very excited. We, you know, obviously we have to pick a starting 7, and there's some great athletes that have missed out for this match, but it is a long tournament.
Any words you want to say to our commentators, Lizzie and Sharelle? I understand you're a bit disappointed with them this morning.
Yes, I didn't get the text message this morning, girls, but in any case, be nice to us and lots of support.
Plenty of support back home. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure they'll be very nice. Thank you to Ros Kelly there. Now, Scott McGrory looked like... This is something very, very special. Thank you very much for stopping by.
Pleasure.
Have a great night calling respectively in all your various sports. Some of the key events previewed right there, live to the netball though, right after the break. ahead. And remember, the choice is yours too with 10 Play. There are 8 live stream options there for you. Catch up as well, and a big schedule of all of our coverage. So go to it, 10play.com.au, or download the free app. This is a must-win matchup in netball. Australia taking to the court for the preliminary pool game against England. Some fired-up former captains of the Diamonds team to guide you through it. Sharazzle Dazzle McMahon and Lizzie Legs Ellis.
Oh, thanks, Rusty. There's not too much Sharazzle Dazzle going on here in the commentary box. Hopefully that will all happen out on court, although Cheryl McMahon tends to not be able to help herself when it comes to the Sharazzle Dazzle. Getting to the netball, we're at the Scottish Exhibition and Convention Centre. World number 1, Australia take on world number 3, England. This is a huge match, Cheryl, and some interesting selections for the Diamonds.
There has been a lot of people potentially expecting to see Madison Robinson come into that wing attack position, but it's Kim Green who's got the nod there with Kim RAVAILLION in centre. And also Tegan Caldwell, after making her Australian Test debut just a couple of days ago, has gotten the start at goal attack above Natalie MEDHURST. So a couple of interesting ones, but I think it does show the depth that Australia has and the options that coach Lisa Alexander has.
Well, after the first game against Wales, you were super impressed with Tegan Caldwell. What does she bring to the table that maybe got her the nod?
Well, they're quite contrasting players, Tegan and Natalie MEDHURST. Tegan Caldwell will certainly bring a lot of athleticism and a lot of drive. And against Eboni BECKFORD-CHAMBERS, who has won the West Coast Fever MVP in the ANZ Champs, she's in some great form, very kind of tough physical player. So potentially just putting her up against that physical style and trying to get her on the move and open some space on her.
Well, plenty riding on this game. Everyone looked at this match and knew that it would probably give us number 1 and number 2 in Pool B, which Australia is in. Everyone will have half an eye on Pool A. New Zealand, Jamaica, Malawi, of course, who really caused the upset almost of the decade last night against New Zealand. A lot at stake in this match, and really a lot at stake, Cheryl, for both teams. The Diamonds trying to make up from Delhi, from the heartbreak of Delhi. England, though, fancy their chances this time around.
They absolutely do. They've come into this tournament with an extreme amount of confidence. They've got a lot of players who have been playing in the Trans-Tasman competition, so getting some very, very best quality netball, really, that they can, and that has really helped their cause and really lifted the standard of their play.
At goal shooter, Caitlin Bassett.
So the Diamonds being called on. 193 centimetre Caitlin Bassett gets the first call. Tegan Caldwell, a huge game for her.
At wing attack, Kim Green. At centre, Kim RAVAILLION. At wing defence, Renae HALLINAN.
We should point out that it's Kim RAVAILLION's 21st birthday today, so it's not a bad birthday present.
Absolutely, nice way to celebrate. Well, hopefully it's a nice way to celebrate for the Aussies. And even this defensive lineup, no real surprises there, but there were some changes in the game against Wales. We saw Julie CORLETTO come into the wing defence, the goal defence position and do quite a nice job, and even Sharni LAYTON come into the wing defence position, and she actually got 4 intercepts in that short time. So there's some options to go if they need to try and break this English lineup down.
Well, Team England getting the call up now. They've got 6 players who have signed for ANZ Championship teams in 2015. Serena Guthrie will make her debut in that domestic competition next year with the Mystics, but some pretty impressive players. And 16-10, Australia won the second 16-11. England won the third 12-10. That bodes well for Australia as they try to pull back this deficit.
Beautiful tip there by Sharni LAYTON, and another clash with Guthrie, and she puts her hands up in questioning what that call was. Nothing. Play on, says the umpire. It's a throw-in. Look at this. That is clean. There is nothing in that. Beautiful.
Except at the end.
Except maybe at the end.
But really, 2 magnificent athletes really going for the ball.
Hold time. England throw-in. Someone want to take it?
So
a bit of sarcasm there by Jono
Bredlin, the umpire down this end from New Zealand. Incredibly experienced, and you'll need every ounce of experience as Jo Harten nails a long bomb. She's pumped. England 41, Australia 38, 12 and a half minutes left to play in this crucial Pool B match. Worth repeating that a loss in this game for either team sets up a likely clash with the Silver Ferns. They survived their own scare yesterday against Malawi.
Interesting, the last two pieces of play has seen Caitlin Bassett drawn a little bit away from the goal ring, and there's a beautiful pass. Look at that, under the ring to Jo Harten. What a connection.
Sasha Corbin. That was magic. She has put in some bullets in this game today.
I think at this point it's important to note that England have 5 turnovers for the match and Australia have 16. Here's an important shot here from Natalie Medhurst, but England have been using the ball so well, but still being able to feed those balls, which are tough to put in and require a lot of confidence.
Pressure on them now. They have controlled this match from the very first whistle. Can they bring it home?
Some really great driving there by Natalie Medhurst. That's what they need out of her. She's really played a great role in front of Caitlin Bassett and has opened things up very nicely.
Their teammates for the West Coast Fever didn't have the best of seasons this year, and a huge turnover. Here's the opportunity for Australia. They've levelled the game at 42 all. Is there opportunity for them to take the lead for the first time in this match?
Now a test for Australia to keep this attacking play that they've started to bring in. Not go back into their shells, to continue to let the ball go and flow like they can.
Brown, RAVAILLION. Bassett for the lead. Oh, it's a miss. She gathers a rebound and makes no mistake. Australia 43 lead, England 42. They have hit the lead for the first time in this match. Mug Caldo, the shooting coach, to the left of Lisa Alexander. Oh, and the throw-in has gone England's way. There is plenty left in this match. England forced way up the court.
Here we see the pressure of the Australian team. Look at the defensive pressure they've got here. Release down the court now.
Oh, guys! Read it beautifully. England are tiring.
They're tiring, and it's the defensive pressure that Australia are putting on that is allowing someone like Laura Geitz to really come through.
Hold time, please. Inside here. Body pinch, you're holding on to a dress. Pick that.
Sprung.
I think she probably knew that.
Oh, that's a big miss for Caitlin Bassett. Out of court. Don't often see her with an air ball. Caitlin Bassett has scored winning goals for Australia in major tournaments, World Championships. She's used to this position. England need to find some run. They have lost a little bit in their legs.
Here is again the pressure from the Australian team. Really building. England are really needing to find that long path.
Commentators for the 7